YouTube, how are you now? Sean back here from the EDC Den. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you are all doing really well out there. Just a little warning, guys, this one might be a little bit longer than usual, so we're going to jump right into it. Today we are looking at the best EDC multi-tool options going into 2021. Now, of course, that's going to depend on a variety of factors, what you do for a job, what are your hobbies, what you like to do in your spare time, stuff like that. That's all going to kind of dictate what direction you go in for your everyday carry multi-tool. But here are 5 tools that I've selected over the years. They're all really great multi-tools, and hopefully I'll provide some thoughts and these 5 options for you just to help you determine which selection you might want to make if you're looking to get a multi-tool in 2021 as an EDC or just as a tool that you can throw in your bag or your vehicle. I'll run down the lineup just quickly so you guys know which tools we're talking about today. We've got the Victorinox Spirit X, the Leatherman Sidekick, the Leatherman Wave, the Leatherman Free P4, and the Leatherman Skeletool Cx. Let's go ahead and start with the Leatherman Skeletool Cx. There's not quite as much going on with this tool as the rest of them, so we'll get through this one pretty quickly. This is a great EDC option. You have the option of a pocket clip back here, nicely integrated into the design, and you also have this carabiner clip. You can attach that to a bag or a belt loop, nice and strong. You can see a little bottle here with the cap popping open. That is a bottle opener right there. Here we've got the blade 154 cm. Not a huge knife, about 2 1/4 inches, maybe 2.5 inches. Nice and sturdy though, nice and sharp. Liner lock here. You can see that the liner lock, it's not going to over travel. It does stop behind this pivot here. Just a nice little design feature. Nice set of pliers here, kind of a mid-sized, mid-weight plier. Not as big as the others, but it is a smaller package overall. Here you can see the bit driver with the Phillips bit and another Phillips bit on the other end of it, which you just disengage this little spring. And a nice little feature, you can have another bit riding in the handle. So you have 2 more options for a screwdriver riding in the handle there. So this one's pretty basic. You have your knife, you have your screwdriver, your bottle opener, and you've got your pliers with cutters. The cutters are not replaceable like you see on some of the newer Leathermans. It's ergonomic, it's a nice design, but you do have hot spots. Anytime you see edges or transitions that are not smooth like you see here, all kinds of stuff going on with these handles. So if you're really to start wrenching on something, you're going to hopefully have a pair of gloves with you. Otherwise, you'll definitely find a few little hot spots there when you're cranking down on it. But a great tool, quite lightweight for all the function you get out of it. Let's jump over to the Leatherman Sidekick now. This is another kind of, it's not small, it's more of a mid-sized tool. You have some great functions here with the one-hand opening on the blade, as well as the saw. This tool I've had for about 10 years. It rides in a little plastic container that I keep in the console of my motorcycle. I've used this a couple times just to cut down some zip ties. I've used the serrated blade here on the inside to cut some rope that was caught up in the spokes of my bike when I was doing some off-roading. So that came in handy. chomped right through some rope that was stuck in my tires and in my chain drive. You'll see that's non-locking there. Nice pliers on this with some nice cutters. You've got the spring-loaded pliers, which can be nice. These were extremely affordable back in the day. I think I picked this up for $35 or $40. Like I said, that was about 10 years ago. They've gone up significantly in price. They are now in the $80 Canadian range, maybe around $60, $65 US. If you like this tool and you like this size and this price point, you might want to check out the Leatherman Rev. It is nearly the exact same tool, minus maybe one or two tools, but still very affordable, probably 35 US, 45 Canadian, in that range. So the Leatherman Rev seems to be a really good one that competes well with this Sidekick. Apparently the cutters on the Rev are much better than these on the Sidekick, so a little upgrade on the cutters, but you might lose a tool or two on the Rev. Aside from the saw and the blade, you do have to access the other tools from the inside, which is something we're going to talk about more as we get into the other tools. So you kind of just push them out here, and then you're back on this side, kind of getting your nail in there and fanning them out. There's your drivers on that side, and a pocket clip on this one. Next up, we've got the Leatherman Wave. This is an absolute classic for Leatherman, one of their benchmark products and designs. Really great tool, nice one-handed function from the outside. That's the serrated blade. Here we've got the nice file, diamond file here, metal or wood file up here, and a metal saw. There's your main blade. And this would be the saw. All locking tools, really great to see that. The rest of the tools for this are on the inside. Nice comfortable handles here while we have them out, just like I said, compared to the Skeletool. These are nice and rounded off. No hot spots, extremely comfortable. I'll say, unfortunately, the tools are on the inside for this one as well. Not the greatest selection. Here you've got kind of a pry bar flathead driver. Here you've got kind of a wonky pair of scissors. Ouch, almost poked myself there. All these tools do lock as well. This is a reversible driver bit with the Phillips head and the flat head on the other side. I have used this once or twice, but I don't find it to be all that useful. I think I changed a battery on a key fob for a vehicle. Nice pliers up here with the cutters, removable, replaceable, if you do wear them out. Really like this tool. It's extremely well built, nice and solid. Feels like you can get a lot of work done with this tool for sure. You can still open it one hand if you really need to. Yeah, in my opinion, the only thing working against this tool is the fact that these little tool sets are on the inside. I don't like having to open up the entire tool to get to them and then digging them out. A little bit of a pain. Then you pop them out, you kind of have to close up your tool and open it back up to put it away. Obviously, it's not the end of the world. It's just great to have a bunch of tools in a nice compact form factor like the Leatherman Wave, but I think they are moving in the right direction with the Leatherman P4 with having the tools that would generally be on the inside of the handles. They've got them on the outside now. So let's take a look at that next. Okay guys, the Leatherman Free P4. Who knew a multi-tool could get so controversial? My goodness. People online seem to love this tool or hate it and want to return it as soon as they get it, which is pretty interesting. I think a lot of that has to do with the price. It is an expensive tool. It's significantly more than the Wave, which is kind of already an upper end tool. I didn't pay full price for mine. I paid half price. This was posted on my classifieds online here in my city. Somebody had received 2 for Christmas. They were going to sell 1 just to get the cash. So I did jump on this. So I got it brand new, but I did pay half price for it. I had seen this tool for the past year and a half or so, and I never considered it due to the price. I already had a couple other multi-tools, and I just wasn't into multi-tools enough to spend the price that they're asking for these, about $140 US. So that was out of range for me. I didn't feel like I needed it, so I passed on it, but when it popped up for half price, I did jump on it. So let's take a look. They call it the Free P4. P4 for the 4 accessible tools on the outside, and the free means you have one hand free because you're only using one hand to operate this tool. It uses magnets down here. They are just under this plasticky rubber cover. And that's what keeps the handles shut. So they've designed this handle with a little channel here that you can get your thumb and fingers into and just break the magnets free. Once that happens, the entire tool is loose and it operates like a balisong butterfly knife style opening. And yes, you can do fancy kind of swing flippy dippy openings, or you can just, you don't need any wrist to get it open. You just pop it open, flip it over, and the handles lock in on these detents here. You can see them cracking open as I close it. Now you're in the loose position. Everything closes up until you get down to the magnets, and then it shuts closed. So that's pretty nice just to have this really easy opening. You just saw me open the Leatherman Wave quite easily with one hand, so far that doesn't justify the big price tag in my opinion, but let's keep talking about it. So one hand opening on your pliers like we just saw, and also on your 4 main tools. Your knife, non-serrated. Your serrated knife with a nice little kind of chisel tip here. Be good for scraping or doing some light chiseling. On the back, we've got the saw. All of these tools are locking with this lock bar. All one-handed. Here's the scissors. So there's your 4 outside tools. Well, I guess they're all outside tools, but those are the 4 primary outside tools. Then you get into the smaller tool sets, which are also accessible one-handed from the outside. I really like this feature. Much better than having to open up the tool, get your fingernail and dig out those little nail nicks. Here you just kind of push with your thumb. You'll fan out the 2 tools and select the one you want. In this case, a flat driver with a package opener and pry bar, nice and solid. And that's the other tool there is the Phillips driver and bottle opener. On this side we have 4 more tools on the inside. You fan those out. Can opener, all and small driver, another driver with the ruler, and another driver with the two-way file. Not everyone is a fan of the tool set on this tool, but I mean, we check these things out before we buy the tools, don't we? We kind of look at the tool selection and then make a choice whether it makes sense for us to purchase. So I don't hold the tool selection against this tool. It's going to be very handy for some and less handy for others, but at the end of the day, you've got your pliers, your serrated blade, your scissors, your regular blade, your saw, and then a bunch of extra tools that complement many multi-tools. I do really like this magnetic opening. Seems to work really well. I will say that the build quality is excellent. All the tools lock up nice and solidly, but there is just a little bit of play here. Just 2 little millimeters of wiggle, but when you open that up, it translates into a little bit of wiggle down here when you're torquing on the handles. Up here, everything does feel nice and solid. Feels like you're not going to have any issues, but there is just that little tiny bit of wiggle factor that I don't have on any of these other 4 tools, so I think that is worth mentioning. I tried to tighten up these pivots where I think it's coming from, but I wasn't able to get them tight. Maybe I just need to try harder, or maybe it's as tight as it gets and it will still wiggle. Not too sure yet. But I think Leatherman is probably going in the right direction with this magnetic opening, and also having all these tools accessible on the outside. I do really like that. And yes, it's nice that they are one-handed, but what's even nicer is that with 2 hands it's made even easier. Most times we are able to use both hands, and just this tool you're able to get these smaller inner tools much easier than on something like the Leatherman or the Sidekick. Is it worth the big jump in price? Well, you'll have to decide for yourself. Like I said, it wasn't for me originally, but when I got the opportunity to pick it up for half price, I am very happy with it at the end of the day. If you already have a Wave, I don't think you need this tool. This, is maybe something you want to consider if you don't have any multi-tools and you're just starting out. But if you already have a multi-tool that you're happy with, I don't think you need to jump up to the Leatherman Free P4 just yet. Maybe wait for the next generation of this tool to come out. I think there are some improvements that they can make. Maybe a slightly different tool selection. Maybe get this little wiggle figured out, and there's been some other small issues that I've seen in other videos. I can't speak on that because I didn't have those issues with my tool, but best to do your research. There's a lot of things being said about this, a lot of good and quite a bit of negative too. So you'll have to go and make your own decision on that one. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of it. I'm happy I have it, and it's nice that it came with a pocket clip as well, whereas this one didn't. So yes, you can pocket carry this. Of course, it's heavy, but you get a ton of useful tools with all that weight. The Leatherman Wave did not come with a pocket clip. It did come with this sheath, which is really nice. This also came with the same sheath, but it's gray. Looks really good in gray. Okay guys, last one, Victorinox Swiss Tool Spirit X. This is kind of combining a lot of features that I like on these tools here, just in one nice, small, solidly built tool. What do I like about this one? Well, the build quality is absolutely there from Victorinox. There's no wiggle like we found on the Leatherman Free P4, and it has all the tools accessible from the outside, which I love, with the exception of the pliers. Again, here we go. We can open this tool with one hand if we needed to. Nice set of pliers here. Not quite as needle nosy, kind of maybe a little bit stubbier. Some nice cutters, but they are not replaceable. Good price point on this one actually. These can go on sale and be found at a really great price. There's no pocket clip, but it did come with a sheath. It's also maybe small enough you just throw that in a pocket or in a jacket pocket or a bag or something like that. Really excellent tool selection. Got your file, your metal saw here. Scissors, which don't open up any larger than this, which is a little strange, but still you got a nice little pair of scissors. All these tools are locking. They're all really well built. Got drivers in here. Nice and mushroomed out, so you can get a couple different sizes of Phillips head to work with that. Can opener with another driver. And another small driver. Here we've got the blade. This is basically just a standard Swiss Army knife blade, so that's one thing that may be lacking in this tool is the knives. You do not get a serrated blade, you just get this Swiss Army knife, which is a little bit small. It's nice and sturdy and it does lock, but this one may leave you wanting more in the knife department. However, a lot of us kind of EDC and knife guys will carry a knife as well as this, so if you're the type to carry a knife as well as your multi-tool, then that can just be your little backup. Here we've got a saw, really good saw. Victorinox makes great saws. Really like this tool from Victorinox. Got this nice chisel tip for prying or chiseling, and they've got the corner chiseled off as well. You can kind of score your packages, score drywall, stuff like that. And some serrations here for stripping wire and whatnot. Nice and solid for prying as well. It's just a great multi-purpose tool. Here we've got a multi-purpose hook and an awl. Nice pointy awl there. And lastly on this side, just a nice big flat driver, pry bar, and cap opener. So what are my overall thoughts or advice to you if you're looking to get a multi-tool here in 2021? Let's see, I'd say go for the Sidekick, or similarly go for the Leatherman Rev if you're on a budget and you're just looking for a great entry-level Leatherman all-purpose tool. Go get yourself a Leatherman Rev in that kind of $30-$40 range. I think you'll be really happy with that. Go for the Skeletool here if you're looking for something lightweight and you're primarily just somebody who might need the pliers, the blade, and the drivers. If you do need that full tool set multi-tool, really tough call between these three. You got the Wave, the Free P4, and the Victorinox. I really don't think you can go wrong with any of these tools. If you can find yourself a Free P4 on sale, go ahead and check that out. I think you will be happy with that. I really do prefer tools that have all of the tools accessible on the outside. I think that's something maybe Leatherman can kind of work their way towards in the future, incorporating that into future designs. So the Leatherman Wave is an excellent tool, but I'll rule that one out for EDC. And between these two, I think this one has the best value. They can be found at a really great price, whereas these rarely go on sale and they're already overpriced to begin with, in my opinion. So this guy here, the Victorinox Swiss tool Spirit X, that is just an excellent option for pretty much a full-size tool, maybe a little bit smaller than full-size, but just a great EDC size with solid tools, a great tool selection, and tools that are all accessible from the outside and all locking. Again, if you're someone who really needs the blades, the knives, or a pocket clip or something like that, then you do have the Free P4 with a full-size blade, a full-size serrated blade. You've got the pocket clip, still have all the tools accessible from the outside. Alright guys, so that has been the overview of these tools. So I think going forward from here, guys, I will make a video for each of these tools. They will each get their own dedicated video, and I'll have more time to use the tool, get you some shots of the tools actually in use. This has just been kind of a broad overview of the multi-tools I have, just in case there's anybody out there who's looking to add a multi-tool to their EDC this year. These are some of the better options that I've found. Alright guys, so we will see you real soon in the next video. Have a great day. Take care.